Let's talk about the lie that destroys YouTube success. If you're here and you've got a black screen, you're not in the wrong place. We are live, video is on, but we are in the dark because the message matters more than what you see. And the biggest lie that people believe that destroys their YouTube success, their business success, their goals, their dreams, before they ever even get started, is believing the lie that they don't have enough time. And I know what you're going to say, but I really don't have enough time. I really don't have the extra time. I don't have the circumstances that would make it possible right now. Well, I want to encourage you that you don't have to have the perfect circumstances. You just have to have the willingness to remove the requirements of perfect circumstances. That's it. You don't have to have the perfect circumstances to create content. All you have to do is have the willingness to remove the necessity of everything being perfect in order for you to get started. And here's what I mean. And I know I sound like, I'm raspy and I might be coughing and stuff, but these fires are still going on and it's still affecting the air and all of that. But I'm okay. So tonight, my twins, I have 3 little boys, including identical twin boys, and the twins, they didn't want to go to bed. Normally I could do my live and maybe wash my face and do my little nighttime skincare routine, or I can, wait till they go to bed and turn the living room light on and talk for a little bit. Today it wasn't possible. It was not possible to do either. And they just really, really wanted mommy's attention. And I was like, well, either I can go live and you guys will hear them screaming in the background, like, I don't want to get in bed, mommy. No, please come lay with me. Or I could just like go lay with them and let them cuddle next to me in the bottom bunk of their room until they fall asleep. And so I chose the latter, but when I chose that, I actually thought that I was going to go ahead and go live while I was laying down with them. But I was just like, I'm only going to have so many of these moments. Let me just take this one and just enjoy the quiet with them for a little bit. But what I figured out a long time ago was that if I let my kids dictate my ability to work on my goals, then I will never hit any of my goals. Never. And I don't know about you. Maybe you have children. Maybe you have family. Maybe you have people that you take care of. You're a caretaker to some degree. But if you're working toward a goal for people that you care and love, but you're letting those same people be the reason or the excuse why you can't accomplish the goals, it's backwards. It's backwards. And so And I'm not saying this to be mean, I'm saying this to like, one, take the pressure off of yourself to create content exactly the way that you believe you want it and need it to be in order for it to be the way you want it to be received the way you want it to be. Like, instead of focusing on how the content's going to be received, let's just focus on how you feel about actually delivering the content, right? So, as we speak right now, I'm sitting in my living room. The lights are out because it's 11:44 p.m. at night, and it took until maybe, I don't know, 30 or so minutes ago for my twins to fall asleep. And now I'm tired. Like, I I'm not like sleepy, but I am tired and I don't want any lights in my face. So I'm like, I don't have to not create because I don't want the lights on. I can do this like a podcast, and whoever wants to listen can be here and listen and just appreciate the message, right? And so if you want to see my face, go check out the third 30 plus lives that I have already. But for tonight, it's just about the message. And the message is that as long as you have the willingness to try, you can find the time. So I was going to record and go live while I was like laying in the bed with my twins and stuff, but like sometimes they want to roll on me and all of that, and I was like, well, that can probably sound like, make the audio sound a little windy and stuff and fidgety with a lot of movement and all that, so maybe I'll wait. And it was like, I don't know, 10, but before 10:30, it was like 10:14 or something like that. And I said, okay, I'm gonna schedule this live for 11 p.m. But then I eventually fell asleep too, waiting on them to fall asleep. And then it was like 11:33, and I said, okay, do I still want to do this live? I didn't. I wanted to go to bed. I was like, man, I've been asleep for probably like 15 minutes. And the what do you call it? The mustard on it, so to speak, was like kind of gone. Like I was excited about it at first to talk about this, and then, you know, the day was long, and then I just was like, well, sleep, not even sleep, but just like, quietness and laying down and stuff sounds really good. We did Chuck E. Cheese today. We had some of our friends come with us. It was like this, it was this whole thing. We have been stuck in the house for several days because the air quality has been really bad due to the Southern California fires, like, in LA. And I just wanted to get out the house. So I was like, well, I'm not going to take the kids to the park. I'll take them to Chuck E. Cheese because at least that's indoors. But then I didn't get to go live earlier like I wanted to. And then, the day passes and I'm trying to do my live at a reasonable time. And then, like, all the kids are like barging into my room when I'm trying to go live earlier. Doesn't work out. And so I think the biggest thing is like, if we can stop ourselves from lying to say that we don't have enough time and start getting creative with the way that we look at our time and look for opportunities that may not be the most conventional in order to create, then we open up the possibility for a lot more opportunities of creativity to exist. That can look like audio only in this case. That can look like, you know, recording while you do your skincare routine, like I do sometimes. That can look like working out and doing your content, even though your content is about tech or hair or anything else, about marketing, right? I go live sometimes, and sometimes I'm working out because I'm like, hey, I'm habit stacking, and we're going to work out, and we're going to talk about this marketing message here and this information that I have to share with you that you're going to want to listen to while I work out, right? And it's about just getting creative and stepping outside of the box of having to be perfectly centered on the camera with the lights pointing directly at you, and everything is just well lit and just so, when the only thing that really matters is what you have to say. Yes, okay, true. What people see is important too, but what you have to say matters most. Your message matters most. So if you feel like the only way that you can create content is I just cannot find the time to make sure that this video looks nice, okay, fine. Create audio only content and somebody's gonna come listen, because I assure you that people have come on live and listened to this, you know, midnight marketing hour live podcast of me saying that it is an absolute lie that you don't have enough time. It's an absolute lie. You just have to accept that your content creation is not going to be exactly the way that you wanted it to be all the time. And the more that you can let go of this perfect, idealistic content creation plan and process in your head that you dreamed of and wanted and desired, with your aesthetic backgrounds and lights and, you know, fancy camera, when you let all of that go and just create and say sometimes it's not going to be perfect, or it's not going to be exactly how you imagined, you might just come up with something that's really great and really special. Like in this instance, this is, I'm calling it the midnight marketing hour because it's late, it's almost midnight, and you can't see nothing. This video is dark. It barely is anybody's up right now. It's Sunday night. People are ready to you know, be in bed. Most people are. I don't normally go live this late on a Sunday. It's usually earlier, but that's just the way it worked out. I prioritize spending time with my babies today. But I also show up for myself now. I didn't used to. I used to say, oh, I'm too tired. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. I can do it tomorrow. But I don't do that anymore. Because when I get up and when I am not feeling that great, not necessarily sick, but not feeling that great, I get up and I show up to work still. I have a headache. I get up and I show up to work still. You know, I didn't sleep well. I get up and I show up to work still. You know, my stomach hurt. It don't matter. I still get up and I show up to work. I take some medicine if I have to, and I get up and I go to work. So then if I do that, and I don't say, oh, well, maybe tomorrow, because I'm kind of tired, and you know, I had a little bit of a headache, or I didn't sleep that well because my kids got up a whole bunch of times and woke me up every 2 hours. If I do that every single time with my job, I'm losing that job. I'm not gonna keep that job. I'm gonna get fired, right? You would too. So why do we do that with our content creation, with our businesses? We don't show up, we have an excuse. Oh, this time I don't feel that great. Oh, this time I'm tired. Oh, this time I didn't sleep that well. Oh, this time I spent some time with my family. Everybody needs family time, yes. But you can make room for the things that you find most important. Not for everything, but what's most important to you. So I made time for my family. I hung out with my kids today. Most important. And then I created as well. I sat and I looked at my husband's favorite podcast. I don't know, for maybe like 5 minutes or so. He was kind of busy this evening, but we still sat and, you know, enjoyed that with each other for a minute. Just, if you married and you've been married a little bit, you know what it is to enjoy each other's presence and silence at the same time sometimes. So we did that. That's important to me. And then my content creation is important to me. So if you can start making your content creation important enough that you don't call out sick on yourself, then you can start to make some moves. I think one of the biggest reasons why I've seen so much propelled success, if you will, going from one new subscriber, 2 new subscribers a month, 0.3 watch hours for the month, maybe a 20 to 100 views or something, to go to almost 6,000 views a month and over 116 new subscribers in the last 30 days and almost 100 hours of watch time. It's because I've been showing up to work every day for myself. There's just no excuse. And I mean, there's been some stuff that people would understand. These fires are out here. Thank God we are safe and we don't, have an evacuation notice and stuff. We did get some warnings, but we're okay, right? So if I didn't show up and I said, oh, well, it was the fires and all of that, okay, but we're okay though. We're okay. So I can let the circumstances around me dictate what I choose to do with the time that I do have here. Or as long as I have the ability and we're not in a dire position. We know like people that have been extended. What happened here? There have been some that like some extenuating circumstances with these fires. We have friends or friends of the family that have lost their homes, or people that we know, friends of friends that have lost their homes. And it's sad. And we can look at all the reasons why all this stuff in the world and stuff is like depressing and can stop us in our tracks from doing something, from doing other things that mean something to us. And admittedly, I've been there before. Like, it's almost like I felt guilty that I was okay and other people weren't. So how could I create, or how could I share something happy, or how could I do something that on the outside looking in might not be that important to others. But when my husband so lovingly shares these Calm app quotes about self-care, in other words, I read them and I take the time. And the one he sent me, it said, something to the effect of self-care looks different for everybody. And just figure out what that is for you. And normally I just like them or love them. But this time I responded and I said, my skincare routine and making my videos is my self-care. So even though people would understand if I didn't create right now, if I didn't post every day or go live every day, it's part of my self-care. It's part of my self-expression. It's what brings me some joy in amidst chaos. So, going back to the lie that destroys YouTube success, business success, any success with your dreams and goals, is that you don't have enough time. But the truth is, you have the time if you have the flexibility to do it a different way than you imagined it to be from the beginning. So I want to challenge you that everything that you do doesn't have to look exactly the way that you wanted it to look. Everything doesn't have to be exactly the way that you wanted it to be, that you planned it to be, that you initially envisioned it to be. You can get there, and you can make room for those visions, because what I do believe is what you envision, you can create. But I also believe that there's a path to creating what we envision. And every step adds up to a mile when you add them all together. So even though we're not starting out where we want to end up, each step we take helps us get there. So I think that's why I'll leave it tonight. If you haven't already, please grab your copy of the Content Marketing Profit Plan to help you get started with your content journey so that you can get visibility on your business and create a marketing message that matters to people that you can help. And make sure you subscribe, of course. And lastly, make sure you remember to share a meaningful marketing message with someone you can help. Because what's it matter if you're in it only just to make money and you don't help anybody along the way? So, thank you so much for your time and for listening, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. I should have the lights on next time. Bye for now.